Record. Okay, we're recording. Hey, hi. I don't know why I'm like so super nervous, but I really am. I told Eric I felt like I was gonna get sick. But okay, so I am Shelly Smith and I am an executive with Zaya, and I have been with the company since July of last year. I am just so stinking excited to be in this company like every single day. I wake up and not every single day am I motivated, but dang near every day I'm motivated. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to see what I can do with the business. So I just wanted to first kind of like give you a little insight into my life, into who I am and what Erica means when she says busy. Everybody has their own definition of busy. My definition of busy is very different from Erica's and very different from Bree and Allison and everybody else on this call. So just because that kind of goes along with not comparing yourself to others, right? Just because somebody says they're busy, you can't discredit that, because to them that is very busy. So to give you a little insight into who I am, my husband and I own our own business, and we live in a small town of 250 people in Diller, Nebraska, and we have a meat processing company. So as you can imagine with COVID, I'm sure that you all kind of ran into the issue where you go to the store and you can't find any meat, right? Especially early on in the earlier months of this spring and summer. So you go to the store, you can't find any meat. And so what did a lot of people do? They resorted to finding a producer of beef or pork or lamb or whatever it may be and taking it to a butcher. So that is where our business grew insanely busy and crazy. We actually tripled our volumes just since May. So very busy, hired a bunch of new employees, training everybody. So my day job isn't just from 8 to 5. Owning your own business, you are, especially my husband and I working together, we go home and it doesn't just end there. So we sit at home and we talk about business constantly. So that's kind of a look into like my day job and my career. And then we also have 2 kids. My son Wyatt is 4, and my daughter Lily is 2. He just started preschool this year. And then I also drive an hour one way just to take my daughter to daycare. We're in a small area in remote Nebraska, and there's not a lot of options around us. So I drive 30 minutes to drop her off and then 30 minutes back to work, a block from my house. So it's kind of crazy. 2 hours worth of my day is spent in the car, which actually allows me to get a lot done, even though you wouldn't think so. I spend a lot of time voice memoing. So that's going to be like my number one tip on how to maximize your success and your time in the business, is use voice memos. And I never, ever, ever would have voice memoed somebody. That was not me. I wasn't going to like jump on there and like start talking to somebody that I didn't know, much like I'm doing right now. That wasn't me. And Erica really kind of forced me to step out of my comfort zone and start voice memoing people. And oh my gosh, it is such a time saver. It's absolutely crazy how much I can get done just by voice memoing somebody. And then on the other hand, it's a lot more personal to them, because they know you're not just copying, pasting some message to 10 other people. So with that said, the reason that I joined, like Erica said, is because I purchased from somebody's VIP link, a mutual friend of ours, and she actually isn't from here either. She married somebody from my small town and don't really know her all that well. But she had a VIP link with Erica. So I was like, oh, this is that Zaya stuff. I've been wanting another pair of leggings. I only had 1 pair of leggings and an all-star bra. And I said, I'm going to grab another pair of leggings from her. And I was 5 months postpartum, and I just really liked how they fit me. So found that, ordered off of the link. Had Erica not messaged me and said, hey, thank you for your order, just make sure to let me know how everything fits when you get it. I want to make sure you're in the right size, right? She just sent me a simple message. Had she not done that, I would have just bypassed this opportunity and said, not even gave it a second thought. The second that she sent me that message, I was like, I wonder what she does. I wonder if I could do this. And I was one of those girls that we all want. And I said, okay, yeah, you're welcome. What does it take to become a rep? How do I sign up? And she probably like her jaw dropped to the floor and she's like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Well, I'm one of those like once a year type of people that you might get. And I started asking her questions. And I think I signed up that same day, maybe the next morning or something. I had been in 5 or 6 different MLMs before. Nothing ever worked, but I'm very goal driven and oriented. And I wanted something that I could rise to the top. Like that is my vision. Like I see myself leading a team. I wanted to rise to the top. I wanted to see what I could do with a company. So everything that I've done before, like I don't wear a whole heck of a lot of makeup. I mean, I work in a meat processing facility, right? I don't need that. That was just really hard for me to market. I don't want to sell or share diet plans or protein shakes or whatever when something is going to come out in another year from now or 6 months from now, and then they're maybe not going to come back to you. I really felt like Zaya, once somebody likes a brand of clothing, they're going to keep coming back to buy that brand of clothing. I mean, just like I have my favorite stores that I shop at. So I really felt like this is something that I could do. And I spoke with my husband about it just briefly. And I said, hey, what do you think? He, of course, gave me the whole, are you sure about this? You do this stuff all the time and it never works and blah, blah, blah. And I said, I think this is going to be different. This is, for one, way, way cheaper of a startup cost than anything else that I've done. You don't have to carry your own inventory and all of this stuff. And I gave him all of the details on how great I thought that this was going to be. And little did I know it's even greater than what I thought. But the fact of that is I saw the compensation plan and I saw the rank advancements on those charts, and I took it and I set a goal and I ran with it. And so that is like on a tip to becoming successful in this business. You really do have to set goals, and you have to have a drive, and you have to have the want to. If you don't have the want to, you're not going to go anywhere with it. You can make excuse after excuse after excuse of why you're not going to sit down and message somebody and why you're not going to reach out to that person and ask them to host a party with you. But if you have the want to and you have a goal in place that you're going to hit, not I think I can get this, you're going to hit it, then you're going to have the want to get there, right? So I was talking to Erica the other night, and I really liked this analogy that she gave me, and I'm going to use it. We were talking about, okay, well, how do you get somebody's mindset on sharing Zaya? And because I have the same feeling, like I'm not a salesy person. I don't want to come out and be salesy and bother all of my friends with this new thing that I'm trying to sell them. So how do you get somebody to have the mindset that Zaya is a business? Treat this business how you want it to be. If you want this to be an income producing business for you and your family, you need to treat it that way. So if you had a brick and mortar boutique, you're going to open a clothing company, a brick and mortar boutique on Main Street in your small town, what are you going to do? You're going to share that, and you're going to scream it from the rooftops, and you're going to tell every single person that you know that you're opening on September 10th, and these are the hours, and come check it out. And here I have a website with a bunch of pictures that I have, and you're going to be able to come and you're going to be able to shop there. Here's me in some outfits. You're going to post it all over, right? Not just in a VIP group. You're going to share it on your own Facebook with your friends and your family, and you're going to be excited about it, and you're going to want everybody to come there. So why not do that with Zaya? This isn't just another MLM company. I mean, this is your business. So why not treat it like a business and share it, scream it from the rooftops, tell everybody that you know to come check out your awesome clothes or that awesome new release. I was the same way. Like I did not want to share Zaya on my Facebook page. I was like nervous about it, and I didn't want people to like I said, here's Shelly again selling something new, and I'm going to ignore her. I'm going to unfollow her. If they want to unfollow me, so unfollow me. I really don't care, because this is my business and this is what I'm passionate about. And if I want to share it with you, I'm going to share it, and I'm going to shout it from the rooftops, because I believe in this company and I want to go far with it. I have goals and I am determined to get those goals and to hit them. And I'm going to share this with you. If you don't want to shop it, don't shop it, but support me by liking my post, you know? So your friends and your family are going to do that. Your friends and your family would come to your boutique, right? They would look around, they would support you. So same thing goes for Zaya. So be proud of what you're building. Be proud of the business that you have and what you're building with Zaya. Be proud of the foundation that you have set, because you're building a team and you want that team to follow in your footsteps in a way, right? You want them to grow and learn from you. So be proud of what you're doing. See the potential, because the potential is here. You just got to go with it. We always say all the time, like, ride the wave. So the potential with Zaya is there. The compensation plan, like I said, that's one of the reasons I joined. It's phenomenal. You can really go far with this business, whether you want to make $1,000 a month, 5,000, 10,000. You can really do that if you have the willpower and you have the mindset that you're going to get there. So another thing is to focus on what's right in front of you and what you've got going on now. Focus on what's going good and not what's going bad. And that kind of goes also with not comparing yourself to others. So focus on what you're doing right and what's working for you in your VIP group or in your parties. Focus on that thing and drive it home. Go for it, and don't focus on the things that aren't working or the things that aren't going so great with your teams. Or if you have a challenge for a team, so what? Move on to a different challenge next time if that one didn't work. So just continuously focusing on what's right and not what isn't happening or going wrong. And then, like I said, don't compare. And I know that we drive this home almost every single time that we do a call that says, don't compare yourself to others. And if you are, I have had to unfollow, just like Erica said, I think in the last call, I have had to unfollow a lot of different Zaya reps because I always found myself comparing. I love seeing Zaya reps that are on our team and being friends with everybody. And I love getting ideas from everybody. That's perfectly fine. But once you see yourself comparing yourself to what so-and-so is doing and they're doing it so much better, that's the point where you've got to stop. You cannot let that get in your way, because now it's getting in the way of your goals and your dreams. Okay, so a couple of things that I wanted to hit on about really taking this business and moving it to the next level and not just treating it like a side hustle is, one, you really have to carve out time for Zaya, but you also have to carve out time for your family. If you're not taking time to step away, like this weekend, I took a day and I stepped away and I was like, I'm not going to answer any messages. I'm not going to do anything. I scheduled a couple posts for my VIP group, and then I answered any comments the next day. If you don't take time to schedule away from Zaya, then you're going to find yourself getting that much more tired of doing it. So scheduling the time, setting it aside for Zaya itself, but then setting it aside for your family as well and for you, because otherwise you're going to keep getting overwhelmed. You're going to constantly be tiring yourself out and dragging yourself down that, oh, this is just something else I've got to do, when what you really should be doing is being excited that you get to do it, right? So scheduling out time for both. When you first start, like, have that discussion with your significant other, or even if you haven't just started and you're kind of growing in your business, having that discussion with your significant other, husband, boyfriend, whatever, mom, dad, whoever is with you that you are taking time away from by doing Zaya, having that discussion with them and why it is so important for you to be in this business and to grow with this company and to really schedule that time. Because if you're having that conversation with them, and you're scheduling time out that this is the hour in the evening when I'm going to work on my business, they're going to end up treating it like a business as well. You know, you go to work from 8 to 5. Okay. Are they upset with you then that you're working? If you go to the gym and they know that that's a priority of yours, are they upset with you that you're going to the gym? If they are going to sit down with you and have that conversation and really value your business and what you want for yourself, then just have that conversation, be open and honest about it, and then they're going to start treating it like a business also. Being willing to do the extra things. So like getting up early, staying up late. Those are a couple different things that if you want to grow in this business, and you need to be able to be willing to do those things and be able to set those times aside and say, hey, okay, this is when I'm going to do this. I'm going to get up early in the morning and I'm going to schedule my post for the next day. Or I'm going to stay up late tonight for an extra hour after the kids go to bed, and I'm going to schedule all of my party posts for the entire week. So that way my husband and I can enjoy a show at night after they go to bed, right? We can enjoy some time together because I stayed up an hour this night to do those things. So yeah, scheduling posts and then sending messages. Like, do not sit there and think that just because you posted something on your stories that you have 2 open spots for a Zaya party next week, that you are just gonna like open the floodgates and everybody's gonna come to you and want to have a Zaya party because they saw the hostess rewards that somebody else got 2 weeks ago. Don't get me wrong. I mean, somebody could very well come to you and say, oh, hey, I'd love to have a party. But 9 times out of 10, that's probably not going to work. You're getting them to think about it and you're planting the seed, but it's going to take you asking them to host that party before they actually do it. An example that I have on that is a couple of my friends just hosted Pampered Chef parties. I couldn't even think. They just hosted Pampered Chef parties, and these friends of mine, they've been doing it since like January. Like somebody would host and then a couple of months later, somebody would host off them. Well, I'd been wanting to host a party. I'd been wanting to have one. I'd been wanting to do it for so long because I've been wanting to replace all this stuff in my kitchen. And nobody ever asked me if I wanted to host one. Just because I saw it on the wall or on the group as a post that, hey, whoever books a party with me gets into this entry or whatever, that didn't make me want to reach out to that person and say, hey, I'd love to host a party, because I'm busy. I didn't want to take that extra 2 minutes to reach out to that person that I didn't know and ask her if I could host a party with her. So the second though that somebody asked me in a party if I wanted to host one, I instantly said yes. It was a no-brainer. Like I had already been wanting to for like 4 months. So you never know who's watching you and who else is busy and doesn't have the time to reach out to you, or who doesn't know you and might not feel comfortable reaching out to you. So always send the messages. And like I said before, I always try to do voice memos over text. And a lot of times when I'm in the vehicle, I actually will have a notebook paper right beside me with a bunch of names on who I want to message and then what I'm messaging them about. So all I have to do is pull open their name and I just start talking. I'm not sitting there trying to look through my phone while I'm driving. I'm pulling open their name and I'm just talking to them. And then when I get back to work or to wherever, then I'll kind of answer their messages if they've sent one back to me. And I always like to wait a little bit before I do message somebody back. I know like those little red dots on your phone, like if anybody's like me, if you have a email or a text or something, like I have to check that right away. But I try to leave it sit there, like leave it alone, because I want everybody to know I'm busy. Like I don't want them to think that I'm just sitting around waiting for their text or their message back to me because I'm desperate for their reaction or their answer, right? I want them to know that I'm busy. I've got things to do. And if you don't want to host a party, that's fine. Tell me no, right? So I want them to know that I'm busy and wait for my response. Let me see where I'm at here. Okay. Another thing to do is to get help in different areas of your life. Okay. So you cannot do everything. You can't. You just can't. So you cannot be mom or wife or girlfriend. You cannot be going to work for yourself or for somebody else. You cannot come home and make supper and do the laundry and do dishes and then clean your house all at the same time and then go home and work on your side hustle. Like you just cannot do all of the things that you need to do in one day. So get help where you need it. If you need somebody to come over to your house and clean your house once a month or once every 2 weeks, do that. If you need somebody to, if you're a stay-at-home mom and you need somebody to come watch your kids for 2 hours a week, 5 hours a week, 3 hours a day, whatever it may be, do that. Get the help where you need it so that way you can grow your business. If you have an 8 to 5 job, are you taking your kids with you to work? Most likely you're not. So treat Zaya like that business also, and have somebody watch your kid. Like, I know, like, that's a whole mom guilt thing, because if I'm a stay-at-home mom, I'm going to feel like I need to stay home with my children. And I power to you ladies, because I don't know how you do it. But get help where help is needed. Okay. I have somebody that comes and cleans my house once every 2 weeks, because I would rather have somebody else clean my toilet so that way I can work on Zaya. But if you're going to do that, then my comment there would be, make sure that you're using that time to work on Zaya. Don't just have somebody come clean your house because you can, and then not use that time to work on your business. So get help where help is needed. Okay, the other thing, and I'm really, really big on this, is personal development. My husband and I share an Audible account, and we are both like constantly adding books in there all the time. And like I said, I spend 2 hours a day in the vehicle, so I'm always listening to books. Two of my recent favorites are the 5-second rule and Get Over Your Damn Self. And if you have not listened to either one of those, do so. I know we talk about Get Over Your Damn Self all the time, but it is like very, very key, I think, to running a successful MLM business, because she has such amazing tips. But the 5-second rule, that's another book that I just recently found, by Mel Robbins. I know it's kind of older, but she talks about all areas of your life. So not just like in business, but getting up in the morning. Like, I'm horrible at it, right? Well, that's something that I want to do, to be able to get up in the morning and spend an hour by myself without my kids before they're awake, so I can schedule posts for the day for Zaya. So what did I start doing? As soon as my alarm goes off, I put it in the bathroom. As soon as it goes off, I don't want to get up. I want to go hit the snooze and get back in bed, right? Well, guess what I'm going to do now? I'm going to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I'm just going to get up and go, because the first 4 minutes that you're awake is going to suck. But then after that, you're awake and you're fine, right? So 5-second rule, if you haven't read that, get it. But personal development is so key in running a successful business, but also treating yourself like you're worthy of running the successful business. Like, you cannot just run your day-to-day average life or above average. You can't run your day-to-day life and then just like go on autopilot. Like, you need something to like reset yourself. And that's what these personal development books do. They teach you ways and tips and tricks on how to change your habits, change your mood, help you figure out different ways of doing things. Message the dang people. Like, just get over it and get out of your way and message them. Like, they're going to give you so much power in what you already have inside of you, and it's going to bring it all out. I have something that I just wanted to talk to you guys about from, I'm sure all of you know who Rachel Harris is, but Hollis. What? Rachel Hollis. I was like looking at a name on here and I said Harris, and it's Hall. Sorry, Chelsea Hall. But so anyway, so Rachel Hollis, the Girl Stop Apologizing. So there's Girl Wash Your Face and Girl Stop Apologizing. Well, I was looking after I finished the 5-second rule a couple weeks ago. I was looking through my Audible account for something else to read, and my husband and I share a lot of the same books, although I'm sure he's not going to listen to this one. But I had scrolled through and I realized that a couple years ago when I started listening to this, I never finished it. I had like 2.5 hours left of the book. Oh, well, let's just start it over. So I did. I started it over and I re-listened to it, and there was some really good tips in there. And I'm actually really glad that I went back and listened to it, because I pulled a lot out of it that I liked. So what I wanted to read to you, these were her 5 ways to not just be productive, but to be highly productive. And so the quote out of there was, in your business, you thought that what you needed was the time to pursue your dream, when really what you needed was to use the time you do have in an impactful way to help you to not fall into the trap of distraction disguised as productivity. So I really loved that. And I actually wrote all of this out in my phone. So I'm going to kind of read through her 5 tips and then like tell you what I took away from it. So the first one was to replace your to-do list with a results list. And I really, really liked this, because how many things do you ladies have on your to-do list? Like a billion, right? I have like 5 lists just sitting here on my desk. And half of the time the stuff on them doesn't even get done, or I think I'm working on the stuff and I'm just like getting distracted and doing other things. So if you turn that to-do list into a results list, so bringing that into Zaya. So in this hour that I have to sit here and work on Zaya, I am going to message some people. I am going to set up a Facebook party, and I'm going to share the jogger bundle. Okay. Well, what do I really want out of those things, those three things? I'm going to message some people. What do I want to get out of those messages? Well, my ultimate goal is that I want to book 3 parties and get 2 new customers. So that's what I'm going to write down on my list. I'm going to book 3 parties and I'm going to get 2 new customers. I'm not just going to put down on my list to message people, because I could message them about whatever I wanted, right? So get 3 new customers and book 3 parties. Okay. So sharing the jogger bundle. Well, what do I ultimately want out of that sharing the jogger bundle? I want to sell 5 jogger bundles. So I'm going to write that on my list, sell 5 jogger bundles, because now you're working towards that goal, not just doing the thing and crossing it off your list. You're actually working towards what you want to get out of it. So in Rachel's book, she wrote down that you should never have more than 5 bullet points on your daily list. So never more than 5 results on your daily list, because to get that result, to get one result, you might have to do 2 or 3 things, tasks, but 5 results. Okay. Then number 2 was reevaluate efficiency. So whatever you think efficiency is, write that down and then dissect it, completely dissect it and figure it out. What is efficiency? So I used to think that sitting down at my computer and going through and looking for some graphics on the Zaya marketing page, I was being efficient because I'm trying to find the graphics I'm going to use in the party that I'm doing this week. And this is a Saturday. So I'm just sitting there and I'm trying to, my party starts on Sunday and I'm going to try to figure out all the graphics that I want to use. So I'm just kind of looking through, reevaluate all that, because now I'm just sitting there mindlessly scrolling through the marketing page and getting caught up on like 10 different things that different people posted, and I'm really not getting anywhere because I'm just scrolling and looking for the perfect post when I'm not finding it. So however, you got to reevaluate efficiency. If you want a hostess reward graphic, search in the search bar hostess graphic or go make your own. If you want to be efficient with what you're doing, take your own graphics. I know we don't all have time to do that, and you might not own every single item, but so search in the search bar, all-star bra, and then only look at those things. So reevaluating how you're being efficient with your time instead of just scrolling, or I know there's tons of other things that we're doing that we're not necessarily efficient with them. There is number 3, create your own productive environment. So this goes along with another idea that I wanted to share here, as make sure that you designate somewhere for you to be productive, somewhere that you have your own space in your home for you to sit down and work on Zaya, that you only have Zaya in that area. So for me, my stuff very early on was all in my son's toy room. Everything that I had Zaya wise was in his toy room, and I had a little desk set up there. It didn't work because when I was down there, then he wanted to be down there playing. I didn't have an area just for me. My clothes were mixed in with his toys, and it just didn't work, because now every time that I went to work on Zaya and in my business, I was constantly being distracted with what he was doing or what he was messing with or what he had at that point in time. So designating your own workspace and your own environment. And then what Rachel Hollis said is, you don't have to have an exact outside factor either to make yourself productive. So no outside factor is going to make you be productive. The key is to create an environment that can get you in the zone wherever it may be. So not only having an area in your home, whether it's a desk in a corner or a certain area of your kitchen that you can actually sit down at and work, or wherever that may be, but also setting your environment up so that way, okay, so an example of this is any of you that work out, what do you do before you work out? Do you have a playlist that you listen to? You take a pre-workout, you drink some sort of energize or whatever it might be, but you have some sort of a routine that gets you in the mood to work out or the mood to run. For me, I'm a 90s kid, so I listen to my Nelly radio on Pandora and I get ready to go. And my husband makes fun of me for it, but heck, it jacks me up and I'm ready to run, right? So doing something like that to get yourself in the zone and ready to sit down and work, because it's a mindset. Every time that you do that thing, you're training your mind to start working and be productive and get ready to move, right? So whether you have a certain playlist that you listen to while you're working on Zaya, you mix up your favorite coffee drink or whatever that might be, those are also environmental changes that can get you in the mood to work. Okay, so number 4 is know what distracts you and avoid that thing. Okay, so whatever that thing is that distracts you, I mean, for some of us, it could be children, but avoid that thing, right? So me, it's my phone. I need to not be anywhere near my phone if I'm going to sit down and be productive. At work also, if I'm sitting here in my office and my phone goes off, and it could be like a life or death thing, I think that person needs me right this very second. It never is. I mean, if they need me, they're going to call me at work, right? They know where I'm at. So for me, if my phone is sitting upright next to me and I see that screen, the second it lights up, I'm going to grab it. So flip it over, set it on the other side of the table or the other side of the room. Know the thing that steers you away from what you're doing at this very second and get away from it. Avoid it completely at all costs. So people pay attention to what steals your attention. People who struggle to keep their attention on one thing are usually too distracted to even know they're distracted. So every time that you feel your focus and energy wander, it takes a long time to get that back, if you even get it back at all. So if you're going to designate 30 minutes of time right now to work on your business, that 30 minutes of time needs to be distraction free. And then number 5 is course correct. It's easy to get sidetracked, so check in with yourself once a week and see that you're really on track and readjust if needed. Do an efficiency audit on yourself and see if you need to tighten up and shift your focus. I really loved that one because I'm big on sitting down on Sunday. Usually it's Saturday because that's when I'm planning and getting ready for my party for the following week or parties, but a lot of times it's Sunday morning. So when my kids are eating breakfast, here lately, I've been liking to go outside and sit on the back deck on the patio furniture and let them play or eat breakfast outside. And I sit there and I plan out my week. If you do not have this book, it's Rise Up. It's a planner by Mora Kusaba. If you don't have this, get one or look into it. If you have a team, this is a great incentive for them as like a monthly challenge prize or something. But I like to sit down with this book once a week and I plan out my entire week. So it's a planner, but I mean, it's a book. Like, this is thick. It's a book, and she designed this for Beachbody. She's a Beachbody coach, like really, really high up in the company. And she designed this for them, but I think it actually works very well with what we do also. So you've got your calendar pages, and then everything, you've got weekly to-dos with check boxes. You can put your business goals in here. So I like recruitments and new customers and team rank advancements. There's all sorts of things in here. So as a leader, I really like to use this book for leading my team, but as well as for my own personal goals. So there's like 4 or 5, 6 different pages for every month that you can use. But then there's this weekly planner in here. So every single week has one of these double page layouts. You put all of your goals for the week, and then you actually are scheduling your entire week. I don't know how well you can see that. This is just a blank one. But you schedule your entire week, and then there's a place on the bottom. I just lost a bunch of papers out there. There's a place on the bottom of every single week where you can reflect on the week before and what you want to do different this week. So you don't have one of these, I suggest that you at least look into it. They're kind of pricey, but you can do anything similar to that in any planner, but I highly suggest you at least try to structure your day. So every Sunday, I like to sit down and I like to try to structure out my entire week. And then halfway through the week, where she just said course correct, halfway through the week, go back through and say, okay, am I am I accomplishing what I set out to accomplish? Am I getting done what I said I was going to get done? Am I on track to do those bullet points or the results list that I wanted? So going back through course correcting and figuring out how you can get back on track and be more efficient and finish out your goals for the week. So basically what it comes down to is do the work and don't expect it to come to you. That's the last thing that I said on my little notes paper here. Do the work and don't expect it to just come to you. So if you want to treat this business, this little side hustle, like the business that you know and you dream that it can be, then set goals and do the work. So that's all I got. If anybody has any questions.
Let's see. So Shelly, we have a question. What does your reach outs to getting new customers look like?
Getting new customers, is that what you said?
Yeah, like what do your reach outs look like to get new customers?
Oh. Yeah, so I actually go through my VIP group members like once a month, and maybe even a little more often than that. And I'll pick a handful of them, like 5 or 10 of them to reach out to. And I don't do this every week, like I said, once or twice a month, but I will pick a handful of them, the names that I see in there that either they're not active at all, and I know they're in there, or they might be active every once in a while or like or comment on something now and then, but they're usually always people that have never made a purchase in the ones that I'm trying to gain new customers. They've never made a purchase from me before. So if they're a person in my VIP group that is like never interacting and I don't ever see their name pop up, but they're in my group, I will simply reach out to them and say, hey, Sarah, I know that you're in my VIP group. I don't know if you've been watching me for a while, but I would be interested to know how you like Zaya or how you heard of Zaya. I have a couple $10 off coupon codes if you'd be interested in one. I would love to hear what you think. So that might be one way. If they are a little bit interactive in the group, or I've at least seen their name come up a time or two, I'll say, hey, Jennifer, I know that you're in my VIP group and I love the interaction that you share in there. I'm always so excited to see your name pop up. What would you think about trying a pair of leggings? Have you ever owned a pair before, or would you be interested in trying them? Just simply getting the conversation going. And then also, even on my friends list, if I know that they're not in my VIP group, I just simply like start the conversation. Not even about Zaya at the beginning. I will just say, hey, Jenna, it's been a long time that I talked to you. I saw the kids went to the zoo last week. That looks really fun. I've been wanting to take my kids there for a month or so now, but with everything going on, I didn't know that we could. So it's really awesome to see that you took yours there. Was there anything different you had to do? Like, just start somewhere. You're going to start having a conversation with them, and that conversation is going to lead to something that you can say, oh yeah, well, I started doing Zaya Active or selling Zaya Active a couple months ago, and I actually have a VIP group if you'd be interested in coming over and seeing what it's all about. Like, somehow that conversation is going to get struck up. So that's kind of where I start with it most often. What else, Erica?
I'm looking. Speaking of distracted, let's see. How would you suggest encouraging reps who don't want to post or personal message about Zaya because they feel like they're advertising or bugging people? I'm guessing also probably salesy.
Mm-hmm. So, like on my personal page, like I try, and I'm not very great at it, but I try to post about Zaya. I post about Zaya on my stories on Instagram and Facebook like every single day. And I always make sure to put, my kids or my life or what I'm doing in there also, because I don't just want it to all be Zaya. But on my page, like on my wall, a post that I'm going to make, just like be genuine about it and be excited about it. And people aren't going to think that you're being salesy. If you're starting to put like numbers in it, or buy this for $12.99, or we don't even have anything for $12.99, where that came out of, I don't know. Maybe some socks. No, those are even more expensive than that. I don't know. But buy this, whatever it might be. This tank top's only $31. You should get one because you're going to love it. And then the next post that you do is get these joggers. They're just $79 and you're really going to like them too. If all you're doing is posting that every single time, then you might start to sound salesy and unauthentic, and it's going to kind of get repetitious where all everybody's seeing is just you posting some ad for your clothes. But if you're posting things like you wearing an outfit, or you're really super excited about this boyfriend hoodie and you just wanted your friends to see it and how comfortable it is, and you're being genuine and real about what you like about the stuff, then that's not salesy at all. And if somebody thinks that you're being salesy, then that's probably their problem and not yours. Just my opinion. Do I got anything else? Hopefully that answered that question.
Yes. So somebody asked, what if you reach out with, okay, what if you reach out and they don't respond? Do you message them again later?
I do, because speaking of that, I'm going to show you this and then I'll answer that question. So I don't know if you all have seen this, but the go for no. I don't know if any of you use this, but I do this all the time. So I do 100 no's. I do this all the time. I do it with my team a lot, but I do it for myself, because I know that I'm probably not going to, like, I need the consistency challenge. I need these things to like keep myself on track and to keep myself, accountable to myself, right? So I need something, and then I can visualize what I'm actually doing. So like on here, I have, I circle it in one color if they've given me a yes or a maybe. I X it with another color if it's a no. I check mark it if they did say yes, but then if it's it's a circle if it's a yes, and it's a circle in a different color if it's a maybe. So I've kind of got it color coded, and all of those maybes, I'll give it like a week, or if they don't answer, I'll give it like a week, and then I go back to them and I'll say, hey, and this came from Paula Chavez, if you know who she is. She did a training on her Instagram, and I think maybe, I can't remember who it was that shared it, but it was on a training somewhere, and maybe it's even in Zaya, maybe it's not in Zaya Fire, but I'll find it. It might be in the unit section, but she talked about this go for no challenge, and then to follow back up and circle back to the people that ghosted you. So if you've got somebody that didn't even answer you, and you can see, the little dot that they read your message, I come back to them in like 5 days to a week later, and I say, hey girl, I'm so sorry that I never checked back with you. I know how Messenger can be, because I lose messages in here all the time, but I just wanted to check in with you and see if you had saw my message and wanted to maybe try a pair of light and tights. And if not, that's perfectly fine too. I just wanted to check in with you and see what you thought. Because then if it's a no, I'm at least then off telling her to give me the no. I would rather them give me the no than not answer me at all. So I always circle back and say, hey, I'm so sorry I haven't gotten back to you. I got busy and distracted, because I want them to know I'm busy, right? Because then they can do this business too if they're busy. So I always try to circle back, but these go for no's are like a huge bonus for me.
Okay, let's see. My 18-year-old daughter just enrolled isn't comfortable putting Zaya in her story today because she did this weekend. She's always sharing fun stuff like dogs and friends, mostly on Snap. I think she just doesn't know how to suddenly incorporate Zaya. So what I'm understanding is she just signed up and this is new. I think you're following me, Shell.
Yeah. So like it's a new thing, and she doesn't know how to just like all of a sudden just start pushing it out there. Is kind of how I'm like understanding what you're saying. Well, if she shared about it already this weekend and she doesn't want to share about it again, just keep sharing. Like you're not doing anything wrong by showing the outfit that you're wearing again today. And not even, you don't even have to say Zaya all the time with Zaya, Zaya, Zaya. You don't have to do that. I mean, just simply starting to show what you're wearing, and kind of what I did when I started, because I didn't want to just all of a sudden just go into kind of like this, just go into sharing an outfit of the day every single day. Like that wasn't me. I had never done that before. So all of a sudden I'm changing what I'm doing. What is everybody going to think about that? Well, if you today share, or like this weekend she shared something about Zaya, well then in 3 days share another outfit and say, hey, I just wanted to show you guys this boyfriend hoodie, super comfortable, whatever. And then another 2 days share it again, and then you get to the point where you're doing it every single day and it's like repetition. I'm almost to the point that if I don't share something about Zaya on my page or on my stories every day, I feel like I'm like doing myself a disservice. So I would just encourage her to just start posting about it. And even if she's just simply wearing something and sharing about that, but always incorporating other fun things that she's doing too, because people are going to buy from you because they like you and they like your lifestyle and what you bring to the table. They're going to buy from me over Erica because they enjoy what I bring and what I present myself as, and they connect with me. And they're going to, if you've got 2 or 3 different reps in your area, why do you want them to buy from you? Why do you want them to trust you as a rep? So just show your lifestyle and what you can bring to the table.
I love that. Also, if people aren't reading the chat, Brenda mentioned a great rule of thumb: 1 in 3 people will see your content. So I also just feel like, honestly, if they don't want to see it, they're just not going to look. And that's okay, because right, you're there to hopefully get people to want to try it. So
Yep.
you do you, and you just be proud as heck, right?
Yep.
Okay, I feel like, all right, let's do one more question, and then I know we all want to be respectful of Shelly's time. So my VIP group is quiet when it comes to the challenges. I have put out gift cards and gifts, but still not people posting for my challenges. An example is post a workout pic.
I feel like that's kind of tricky, because like I have the same issues once in a while. I want people to do my challenges in my VIP group and post their pictures, but some people just aren't comfortable doing that. And I totally understand. Because I used to be the same way, but now I'm just a little more outgoing and confident because of Zaya. So I kind of feel like I understand that, because I'm going through the same thing in my own VIP group. But I just keep posting. I just keep asking them to do so, and just keep sharing about it and saying, hey, you guys, don't forget about the challenge that I've got going on right now. Post a workout pic. Ask them to post it in the comments. Like, start getting them to start posting in the comments rather than on the wall. Maybe they would be a little bit more comfortable with. There's some of the posts that I do on my VIP group that I get a lot more people to just post in the comments as a picture than I do if I ask them to post on the wall. So starting out somewhere where they might feel a little bit more comfortable, and then asking them to later do that. Also asking people, when you check in with them, if they like their Zaya after they've ordered, and if you're not doing that, you should. But after they have ordered and you're checking back with them to see how they like their products, if they are like over the top, like in love with what they got, just simply ask them, hey, would you mind going on my wall and posting a review and a picture? If they're not comfortable, they're not comfortable. They're going to tell you that. But 9 times out of 10, they're probably going to be like, oh, yeah, definitely. Because 1, everybody likes to talk about themselves. And 2, they're going to be more than willing to share how excited they are about the product if they were like overly excited telling you how they love it. I kind of get a little picky with who I ask, because if I kind of get the gist that they like it, but it's kind of like a one-liner little thing, then I might not go there. But I usually always try to ask the ones that are super pumped and excited about what they got.
I love that. Just to reiterate what Shelly said, and I think it's really important, ladies, if you want your VIP group to have a certain vibe or to build a certain community in there, you have to keep going and keep leading that force. If you change and go off course, people aren't going to know what to expect of you. So if you want your community to be uplifting and to have, inspiration around workouts and things, and you have to keep doing it. And then eventually people will catch on. But if you go, oh, it's not working, I'm going to change it, the next thing you do probably isn't going to work either because you're not staying at it long enough, right? Let's give it up for Shelly. This was amazing. Is anybody else like fired up, ready to go? Sweet, no one is. Cool. Oh, here we go. There's the chat. I just love you so much, Shelly. I appreciate you and your time and your wisdom coming to all of us. So I hope you all have an amazing day, and we'll see so many of your beautiful faces in like 2 days.
Yes, I'm so excited to see you all.
Awesome. Thanks, Shelly.
Hey, bye, girls.